Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCGO match. Again, this is I guess this was Sunday afternoon when I finally got around to actually playing with some of my Boundaries Cross cards. So in this match, I'll be using Garbodor, Landorus, Terrakion. This list is at an extremely rough stage at this point. It's actually pretty terrible. But it was kind of a funny match, mostly just because my opponent has a binder drop deck. It's always fun to feature one of those every once in a while, just so we can see what they've got up to. As you can see, he starts with Sigilyph, and then benches Zekrom. So okay, I mean that's not that out of the ordinary. Could be an Eels deck with a Sigilyph tech, but then he plays Bill. So anytime your opponent plays Bill, you know it's going to be an interesting match. Now, all I really want out this turn is a Landorus, so I go ahead and Ultra Ball and discard the computer search. I would have got a Landorus with it anyhow, and I needed a Juniper. I was trying to hit a switch. Unfortunately, I don't get one. So I had to waste my computer search early this game, which is always kind of sad, but you know, as soon as I saw the bill, I wasn't too worried. But I do have Trubbish stuck active for now, and I completely forgot about Trubbish's attack and the fact that it's actually good. I was digging for a switch there with a Juniper, but Trubbish does have a good attack that I could have attached. I could have used, and I have used other times. It's like Trash Hunt or Garbage Hunt or something that it lets you search your discard pile for a card and put it on top of your deck. So it's a great way to conserve your supporters, especially ends. Gives you a lot of shuffle and draw at the beginning, which can be good if you can't get an attack off turn one. Obviously, turn one Hammerhead is really what this deck wants to do, but not always an option. So I go for the Ultra Ball here, I believe, to get Garbodor, and then since Trubbish does have that nice one retreat, going to be able to retreat and then evolve, and that will activate Garbotoxin since I have the Rocky Helmet attached. That means Sigilyph no longer has Safeguard, which is great. I can go ahead and Hammerhead, put 30 on the Sigilyph and 30 on the Zekrom. If I can get the Zekrom up to, I guess, like 90 damage, I can just kill it later. But one of the major problems Landorus has right now is lack of energy acceleration. He takes 3 energy to use a second attack, and it's 2 fighting and a colorless, so there's really no way to easily get that energy going. So he's a little bit slow after the first few turns. I mean, obviously, turn 1 and 2, 30 and then 30 snipe is just incredibly strong, but he does lose a bit of steam after that, and on top of that, in order to hit the 150 with Land's Judgment, you have to discard all the fighting energy attached, which puts you right back to square one, because then you have to start all over. So, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad card. It's a really, really strong card, but without Ether, it's not as good as it could have been, which is actually fine with me. I'm okay with not having giant basics that win the game themselves. Like, at least with Blastoise, at least with Keldeo, you had Blastoise and, you know, Hydreigon's still around. I definitely prefer decks that have something that evolves as opposed to a deck that's just 3 different ridiculous EXs and that accelerate themselves with Ether. So here I'm going to catch her up that Cincino. Go ahead and take a prize on that since I can hit it for 60. And looks like I've been spreading damage to Zekrom. I think he's at 60 or 90 now. So another Hammerhead is actually going to take him out. Unfortunately, he will be able to outrage me for quite a bit of damage. Landorus does have that nifty resistance to lightning, and I've got an Eviolite, so it's going to be minus 40. But yeah, it still does a lot of damage there. I think it would have done 110 normally. So having that 40 definitely helps. Keeps me alive. And now another Hammerhead is going to take it out. So on the bench, I'm just building up my second Landorus. I'd like to be able to have him come in and go for the Land's Judgment. And at that point, I think I can really just destroy pretty much anything he's got. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention here. You'll notice I chose to hit that Reshiram EX I completely forgot that he had a Violite. If he hadn't, Hammerhead and then a Land's Judgment for 150 is enough to take out any EX without a Violite, and I completely forgot that he had it. So I was trying to set him up for a 2-turn knockout there, but completely missed the fact that he had attached in a Violite a while ago. And just to keep track of the types we have coming out now, we've had Lightning already, Psychic, and now we have Fire with the Reshiram. Then, of course, Bouffalant's colorless, but he doesn't really count. Colorless goes into anything. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue building up Landorus's. I do have an experience share on the one on the bench, so I don't need to attach to him. I can just wait until something dies, and then he'll get his 3rd energy for free. So I'm going to go ahead and bench down my 3rd Landorus and throw a tool on him. I didn't see which one it was. I think it might have been Rocky Helmet. Just because I wanted Juniper, try and get a catcher, which I do because I don't really have anything to deal with this Reshiram right now, and I don't think I had any Tool Scrappers in my deck at this point, which I definitely should have. So I'm just going to catch our Bouffalant. Obviously, the Boofer ability is not going to work. That's going to give me an easy 2-hit KO since none of my damage will be reduced, and then I can kind of choose where I want to spread. Decide just to go with the Raichu. By putting 30 on the Raichu, when it comes active, I'll be able to take it out with a Hammerhead. Won't need to go for any type of bigger attack. But he potions that off, so not going to work. Potion's actually pretty good against Landorus, and Darkrai as well, which is kind of funny since it's usually such a mediocre card. But I could see it getting a lot of play in this format. And yeah, we get a Juniper here. He's going to get some more stuff. So I really don't know what that Bill was doing in the deck. I mean, his deck's not good, but he's at least got decent cards, mostly. And then Bill, I don't know. But anyhow, he P-coms for Snivy, which would make his 4th energy type, and a stage 2 grass type. I'm guessing he doesn't play grass energy, though. He just uses it for the healing. Maybe, I hope. But yeah, and so he's going to put an Eviolite down on Snivy, probably just to protect it from Hammerhead, which I guess isn't a bad idea. I, again, am not going to pay any attention and then Hammerhead right into it. But I do get a switch here, so I'm just going to switch into my new Landorus since the old one is pretty beat up. Just figured I'd save giving up some prizes for now. I can only Hammerhead right now anyhow, so I'll just do that and then put 30 back on that Raichu so that, again, I can take it out if he decides to promote it. The main thing standing in my way is really that Reshiram. As bad as Reshiram is, it can still be pretty scary if it gets 4 energy and has an Eviolite. It hits for 150. That's a lot of damage, and there's a 50% chance they won't hurt themselves at all, which can be problematic. Luckily for me, though, I do have the Rocky Helmet on this Landorus, so if he attacks me, he's going to take 20, and that'll get him closer to being knocked out by Land's Judgment later in the game. So he's at 30 now. I do some math and realize that I'm still going to be short because of the Violite, so I can't go for Land's Judgment this turn. It's probably just going to be best to attack again and then let him hit me, and then after he hits me one more time, he will definitely be in range for a Land's Judgment KO because I'll get 20 more from the Rocky Helmet, and then Land's Judgment will do 130, which will put him at exactly 180. So I play my hand down to 0, go for the Bianca, actually get a Terrakion and a Experience Share, which is great. I've got 2 of those guys now, so when this Landorus does get knocked out, I'm going to be able to just cycle through those for a little bit, not have to promote the other Landoruses if I don't want to. And I can just stream the Retaliates, but I probably will actually just put up the full art Landorus because it does have energy on it, and then I can take out this Reshiram, and after that he really doesn't have anything else to go to stand up to me. So he does take the prize on the first Landorus, but thanks to my multiple experience shares, I'm going to be able to conserve the energy. And yeah, here I'm doing the math just to make sure I'm going to have enough damage to KO him, and I will have exactly enough. I'll do 120, which will put him at 180, just enough to take him out. So, yep, that's why I decide to give the energy to Landorus and then send him up. And I think I dropped the second Trubbish at this point. It's probably not necessary, but it's always nice to have a backup. I don't even know if I have any more tools, though. I've burned through quite a lot of them. And I decided to go for the Super Rod. Probably unnecessary. It actually might have hurt me more than anything, just because I don't need those cards anymore. Oh, and I hit for 130. I forgot. 150 minus 20. So I take him out 10 above his HP, but that's going to bring me down to one prize. Almost wipe all of his energy off the board. Well, I guess not. Holy crap, that Raichu has a lot of energy. Never mind. I didn't realize. So never mind about that. But yeah, I mean, I take off the only threat. Raichu's not going to do jack to me. And then he tries to get Audino's ability to work here. I think it's either just bugged that it doesn't work, or he didn't know that you can activate your abilities over in the right-hand side. So he tries to activate it twice and then just gives up and keeps it in his hand and goes for Minccino instead. So whatever. I mean, it would have kept him alive for a turn longer, but I actually have the switch, so I could just switch into Terrakion and kill him that way, and the 10 extra damage wouldn't have mattered. That's what I'm going to do here, because he does paralyze me. So that's going to be the game. Again, not the best. I realize I am trying to get some better games, but I just don't have that much time to play, and I knew that you guys would want to see decks with new cards, so I had to take what I can get, and I just thought this was funny, because, you know, binder drop decks, always good for a laugh every now and then. Anyhow, that's going to be the match. Thumbs up if you liked it. Leave me a comment. Check out the links in the description, and I'll have more coming your way shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.